Hello?
Is it on, Dalton?
It is on, but I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Well, I can hear you, but the recorder can't hear you.
Oh. Yeah, it's okay. My recorder can't hear you either.
Oh, good. It works out well.
They hate each other. Oh, let's get Facebook out of here because it's making noise.
Well, he's asking if you're ready. Ready for what?
Who?
Fausto?
Fausto.
Fausto?
That's my friend Fausto. Shout out to Fausto.
It's pronounced Fausto.
Yeah, no, it's pronounced Fausto. You got it right. That's right.
On Facebook too.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, this is a thing.
This is a thing. Welcome.
I don't know if we're gonna do anything with it.
I don't know. Probably
it's
not.
Not likely, but
probably not. But in case we do, welcome everybody to this podcast of ours. I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm sure I'll find something clever.
We'll figure something out. See, it's easier to just put out an audio file than doing videos constantly. Who knows? This might get some viewers for the videos,
maybe,
or not.
Maybe.
In any case, it'll be an excuse for you to harass me on Skype some more.
That's right. I try to harass Dalton as much as I possibly can because...
And I try to ignore him as much as I possibly can because
you
he's
shut your dirty mouth, you dickbit. You dicky dickbit.
I thought you said bit. That would have been a slight insult to my masculinity.
Yes, I have wounded your pride deeply. Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to find, because, you know, I fancy myself somewhat of a writer. Would you agree, Dalton? I'm somewhat of a writer.
He does fancy himself a writer.
And I like things that are creepy. I play horror games, as you guys have probably seen.
Oh, I know what we're doing.
Yeah, you know what we're doing. You just you just got it. So what we're going to do today is Dalton and I are going to pick all the popular creepypastas. Well, we're going to pick one of some of the most popular ones.
Yeah, please, let's not dig through that whole site tonight.
No, I'd really rather not. But, yeah, we're going to do that, and we're going to start reading it. And,
yes.
kind of tearing it to shreds, so...
As it deserves.
Dalton, if you would. Do you have it up, or do you need a link?
You're insulting my masculinity again.
Do you have it up? Do you have it up? Do you need a link to help you? If you know what I mean.
Are we doing the worst of the worst here?
Oh, that's how you go. You start off hardcore, and yeah, we're doing the worst of the worst. There's a link for you. Because apparently...
Is it the same link I have? Yeah, I'm there right now.
Because you can't get it up on your own.
I hate you. Alright, so... I don't want to read this again. Have you read this yet?
I actually have not. I've read a few paragraphs of it. Would you like to tell the audience what we're reading?
No. No, I don't. So, for those of you who have ever been 12 years old and on the internet, actually no, that doesn't work because they're too young now. I don't know. They're getting younger and younger. If you are 8 years old right now and you're listening to this, you're probably familiar with Jeff the Killer.
Yeah, Jeff
the most
the Killer.
Putrid abomination of any text that's ever been displayed for the public eye.
And it's not even that it's scary or anything like that.
It's
just
not. It's
so
just
bad.
Stupid. It's like if an 8th grader turned in a creative writing assignment, he got a B on it and figured, oh, this teacher stinks, I'm going to post it on the internet. And then he did, and people liked it because they were also 8 years old.
Oh my God.
Christ.
Do you have it? Is it up for you?
Yeah,
now?
I have it up.
Okay, who's gonna start?
Well, it starts out with about as tropey a beginning as you could fathom. Excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown, because that makes sense. Killer is still at large, and that's on 3 lines for some reason.
Yeah.
And then you have the creepy, terrible Photoshop job off to the right.
You know, I actually figured out that's, if I'm not mistaken, that looks just like, I mean, I'm sure it's not, but it looks just like Overly Attached Girlfriend, but really Photoshopped. Like, am I right?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
This came before her. But
oh, okay.
I do think that is a female pictured.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so confused. It's always looked...
It's kind of creepy. But I would imagine if Jeff the Killer was real, he wouldn't look anything like that.
Yeah, if that was peering through your window, it would be creepy, but right now it's just like, why don't you have a nose?
It's
Jesus.
just mildly annoying. I don't have...
Yeah.
It's Michael Jackson! Okay,
It is Michael Jackson.
That was too low,
just
though. That was
Michael
a little
Jackson. That was not low. Come on. Okay.
Alright, let me go ahead and take off here. Let's see. After...
And for those of you who are disgusted by my phlegmatic noises, it is spring. I am allergic to the air right now.
Dude, I'm allergic to everything.
I'm allergic to myself.
After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survives one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. So this is apparently what the little boy says. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling.
I woke up and found my sheets were all wet for some reason.
Are we not going to make it... Okay. Like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed, there and a little ray of light illumining from between my curtains. This is like a lot of... This is like very large words for a small child. Yeah,
this is a little boy speaking here. Yeah. What child... This is like an M. Night Shyamalan film. What child says, there, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, it should say betwixt my eyes. These weren't regular eyes, they were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me.
See, like, I would imagine that, what if this was, like, Morgan Freeman as a child? Like, I think that's the only person who can get away with that.
That's when I saw his
a long, horrendous smile.
Smile that made I'm not going to do a Morgan Freeman voice. But yeah, no child would ever say a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said it in a way that only a madman could speak. No child has that capability of working dramatic pauses into sentences.
I know. He said, okay, wait, let me try and do my best Jeff the Killer voice. Are you ready for... No, I'm going to do this completely serious. Are you ready?
What does he sound like?
I don't know. Well, this is what I would imagine he'd sound like. Are you ready?
Yes.
He said, go to sleep.
I imagine him being really high-pitched and
go to sleep!
Go to sleep, Jimmy! Oh!
Mickey Mouse.
That was like a voice cracky Mickey Mouse. Okay, going on. Okay, so the child is now saying, he said, go to sleep. I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my...
Pulled up a knife?
Aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my... He's still in the window. He never said he entered the room.
I know. Like, how did he get on the bed all of a sudden?
Okay, so he teleports through the windows, phases right through the glass. Oh wait, no, it's open somehow. Cuts the bug screen open, I don't know. He's on the bed, aiming at the child's heart. The child fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I fought in my undies, I rolled around trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in.
Does it really say that? Why did I lose you all of a sudden? Oh yeah. Oh no, you added that in, okay.
The man threw the knife. It went into my father's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police.
Finished him off!
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Can you just derail your mind for a second and focus on the task at hand?
I'm good.
Okay. So, hold on. So, this is all happening in the blink of an eye. The child is in bed. The killer goes through the window,
through it.
Tries to stab him. The father opens the door, and he ninja throws it into his shoulder. But then the police bust in right then?
Yeah.
What? It said the man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors had alerted the police. How quick do the police respond? Where is this? Is this at the police station?
It's like... yeah, it's like right... It's the apartment right above it. They're in a very busy city. And...
I guess. Oh, hold on. They drove into the parking lot. Why does your house have a parking lot?
It's one of those, it's one of those condo / residencies / commercial businesses,
And then the SWAT team landed on the helipad on the roof.
Where did that come from?
Oh, Read along. Follow along, lad.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
go ahead.
they drove into the parking lot.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip it a little bit because this is basically just this until it starts, for some strange unknown reason, starts talking about, all of a sudden it goes into Jeff's story, right? And it starts off as Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those quote-unquote fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother, is that Liu? Is it Liu? Couldn't complain, though. A new, better house. What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy! These are our new neighbors!" Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard.
What a helpful bit of information. I'm so glad they put that in the story.
Because Billy is so relevant.
Yes.
"Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter and my two sons Jeff and Lee."
I guess they adopted.
They have Jeff, who's a normal, like, just brown hair, blue eyed baby, and Lee, who's like their adopted Asian child.
It must be.
Oh, this is already too much. Okay,
moving along.
They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Well, okay. Like, okay.
Hello, new people. Give our child a gift.
Hello, new people. Come to the birthday party. Just like out of nowhere. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said they would love to. God damn it, when moms get you involved in shit.
Stupid
It makes me want to just turn into a psychopathic killer.
Oh yeah, it is Margaret. Cut off all my eyelids, remove my nose, which is never said in the story.
No, hey, you're dude, spoiler alert, come on.
Who cares? This isn't a good story. No one's gonna, like, send us a pipe bomb because we said Jeff the Killer doesn't cut off his nose.
They might. Are you sure? Have you seen the Jeff the Killer fans? Jeff,
yes.
said his mother, "We just moved here. We should know that we want to spend. We should know, or we should show. Okay. We want. For a second, I thought that was really bad. That.
Don't worry, their typos that badly.
See, I'm just prepared for them right now.
Oh, you're gonna cry.
I know. It's okay.
You're gonna turn into Jeff the
And kill
Killer.
the people that made this. Now, we're going to that party, and that's final. Jeff started to talk but stopped himself, knowing he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling? How do you sit and look at your ceiling?
He plopped down onto his bed. He's like leaning back. Why are you analyzing this part? This is okay. There's nothing at all wrong with this sentence. Save the precious minutes for what's to come next.
Suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. Okay,
just as downstairs, typically that would be one word.
Oh yes,
like
downstairs.
He walked downstairs to the downstairs area, but no, he walked down some stairs. Not his stairs, just stairs in general.
Just the general pacing of it is just so painful for me to read.
Okay.
No, I'm almost like I'm at the point. I'm almost at the breaking point.
If your tongue seizes up and starts to suffocate you because it can't go on any further. I'm gonna keep going.
I'm gonna try. Okay. As he and Lee finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. "Hey, what the hell?" said nobody, apparently.
Totally radical,
"Hey, what the hell?"
dude.
said apparently nobody, because there's no... Because it's just quotes.
Okay. That's the narrator saying, "Whoa, did I write that? That was awful." Okay.
Oh, God. Okay. The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. Those damn skaters, you know how they are, Dalton. These freaking hooligans.
Yes,
Oh,
I
see
know
how
you.
it is. Hooligans. The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears a Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. Yeah, Aeropostale.
Is that how you say it? Aeropostale. Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know.
So he's got...
So he's a rich little pompous shit, is what they're trying to say.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
it looks like we got some new meat.
Because that is the most stereotypical thing you could ever use as a first
Also
line
apparently
for an
said no one
antagonist.
ever.
Well, antagonistic
Also
sentence.
apparently said no one ever. Suddenly,
Yeah.
2 other kids appeared. Uh-oh. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith. Ooh. Jeff and looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. Oh ho ho! That was actually kind of a good burn. And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there's a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. This stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Uh-oh. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Yes.
Is this a Stephen King novel?
Yes, this is
Stand By Me.
Or both.
Or It.
Oh, man, you made me lose my spot. Tisk, tisk.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. I had hoped you would be more cooperative. But it seems we must do this the hard way.
The kid walked up to Lee and took out his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. Ooh, yeah. He stood up, but Liu gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen.
What is the sit down gesture? Is it like, do you put your hand perpendicular to the floor in front of you?
I think it's when you take
it around?
I think it's when you take your hand and like have it flat and then push it down. You know what I mean? Like
just doing that once very slowly, like those hypnotists on TV do when they lure an actor into a chair.
I don't know. I don't even know.
That's the sort of visual that would not look out of place in this story.
Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Uh-oh. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. Oh, Jeff, my hero. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. So, like, that's another thing I didn't get. Is Jeff fucking Superman? Or what's
Yes, this is a story about Superman. The title is completely irrelevant. At the end, he turns into Superman. All is happy. He spins back around the earth and turns back time. Makes no sense.
I didn't realize. You know what they should do? They should turn back time to when they made this and not make it.
Yes, and the author should be pistol whipped.
But, like, I guess, you know, apparently if you're a psychopathic nut job, you're automatically super strong, too.
Yes, of course.
That's how it works, I guess.
And this kid is 12 years old, of course.
Yes, he's 12 years old
13.
And he's dodging everybody.
He's a year older than whoever
13.
this villain is.
Right. And he's 13, he's dodging people like he's freaking...
He brought his fists
the
to
Flash.
the knife fight and he won.
Yeah. I don't get it. Okay, you know what? Let's just go ahead and skip to the part where it's really, really bad. I mean, really bad. Do you remember where that's at? Can you point me to that general direction?
All of it. Absolutely all of it.
Like, but isn't there one part where you're just like, I'm done?
Yeah, okay, so skipping ahead, what happens next if I'm just sort of skimming this? So the police come and they come to arrest Jeff for defending himself and not doing anything terribly wrong other than being Superman. And they arrest Lee instead because he takes the blame, and Jeff's all depressed about it, and then they go to the birthday party.
Oh yes, that's right, Billy's party.
Yeah, so Control F and search for Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids.
Jeff walked downstairs? No, outside. There it is. Okay.
So this is at the party now. This is at Billy's party because Billy is such an important character in this.
Very, very important. Okay, here we go. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. I understand that feeling. That freaking sucks. Suddenly
Come
a
on,
kid...
Toys R Us is awesome. What 13-year-old doesn't want to be a Toys R Us?
That's true. It's, this person needs to stop thinking like an adult.
Even
like
Superman would enjoy Toys R Us.
Even Super Child.
13-year-old Superman. Okay.
Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. Hey, wanna play? And I shit you not, it's wanna play with a W.
P-W-A-Y.
That's right. No, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face.
What, like a pug?
Like...
That's not very nice.
That weird puppy dog.
The kid just has a glandular problem.
He looked at me with those Marty Feldman eyes. Please, said the kid. Again, another W. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous.
Foreshadowing!
But then he started to actually have fun. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of me.
Who was in prison, mind you.
Who is now getting butt raped in prison. So he played with the kids for a while, until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards.
Okay, now this part... This part really bothers me, because visualize this.
Okay.
How tall is a fence? Like 5-6 feet? Did they set up a ramp? Did they drag a half pipe
kicker
out
on the
in
other
front
side
of the fence and jump off?
Yeah.
How did they jump over the freaking fence? Anyway.
Yeah, they've got a kicker on the other side, and they just kind of skate up to it and jump over.
Yes.
Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Oh, he's fucking pissed. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. He's pissed too. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. Bitch. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to JDC. What's JDC?
Juvenile Detention Center.
Who the fuck says JDC? Wouldn't you just say juvie?
What 12-year-old says, hello, Jeff, is it? We have some unfinished business.
Stewie does.
Okay, so this is a story about Superman versus Stewie. Skateboarding Stewie.
12-year-old Stewie from Family Guy.
Named, I don't know, Keith or whatever. Randy.
Randy, that's what it was. That's right. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no. I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. Who admits that they got their ass kicked? Like, I would never admit that if that happened. Maybe like, no, you didn't kick my ass. I just fell.
Yeah, this isn't a very realistic portrayal of a 12-year-old. I think that's been established at this point. Anyway, as he said that, Randy rushed to Jeff.
Hang on, we're going to pause this for a second. Yeah.
Oh.
I know. Okay, go ahead. I guess I'm going to have to cut that part out. Oh, no. Or I'll just leave it in. Everybody, I want you to know that I'm such a badass that I just tell people to get out of my room and not talk to me ever.
We're not going to leave this in.
No, we're going to. It's going to happen.
No, we're not. We can do an outtake video. Or podcast.
No, it's stupid. Okay, hang on. Randy,
this is stupid.
This is all stupid.
Okay. Alright, let's say Marco Polo again so that we can synchronize this and make sure that you have a good point to cut the audio when you're editing.
Okay, Marco.
Steve.
You suck. Okay, let's go back to it.
Okay.
Randy punched Jeff in the nose and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Whoa, dude. Grabbed him by the ears?
Yes.
Jesus.
Big
pretty
Dumbo
hardcore.
ears.
Jeff
Punk's not dead, it's in Superman.
Punk's not dead, it's in Jeff the Superman. Jeff pushed Randy off of him and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets.
That escalated quickly.
Where's Will Ferrell when you need him? No one interrupts or guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on... You can't threaten adults.
Hold on, he still hasn't... It's not an adult.
Yeah, because he said...
Okay, he's threatening...
Yeah,
okay.
all the parents ran out, and he's like, no one interrupts or guts will fly. Like, what?
This is a 12-year-old James Bond villain with a gun. Parents will not mess with that. They just freaking skateboarded over the fence. They are inhuman.
No, they used a kicker. They're cheaters. Brandy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Ah! You dick!
Jeff screamed and fell to his knees.
Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, I know, what a dickhead, right? After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it. I like how it's also in present tense, not past tense.
Yeah,
it goes back and forth.
Lot.
Yeah, it goes from present tense to past tense, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. Did I read that right? Through the patio door?
Is Troy the huge fat kid?
Yeah.
Okay, so Troy is Superman.
No,
Superman.
Troy's like the Incredible Hulk.
Fat Superman versus Superman.
The Incredible Hulk versus Superman.
Okay.
As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Oh no. Come on, Jeff, fight me. That's kind of a coward thing to say, like after you freaking sucker punched him, decked him, and dropped him in the ground. Now all of a sudden you're like, fight me. What? Anyway. He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're going to sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up.
Because we needed to be reminded of the character's motivation.
In case that we forgot, not but a paragraph ago that they were talking about this.
Of course.
Oh, finally you stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Okay, just
keep going, that's alright. The one which, never mind the in. He's in a feeling.
The one in which, yes. He's in a feeling. Finally, he's up, says Randy, and he runs at Jeff. That's when shit happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. Wow, they actually used the word psyche. That's pretty impressive.
That was the teacher's editing story.
All rational thinking.
They put his psycho. They had to change it to psyche.
His psycho is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone, and all he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. Holy shit!
Through the ribs. He shouts Kalima.
Kalima!
The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. Wonder why.
As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Jammer. Oh god. Dalton, I can't. Please take over. I can't.
Jeff hammers down on him. Giggity. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body. That doesn't make sense, though, because he just ripped his freaking heart out. There's nothing to pump the blood out. Until he takes one final breath, and dies.
Didn't he already die from the...
Yeah, you'd expect it, but I guess this guy's a trooper. No, this is Hulk. No, Hulk is still alive. This is Randy. Anyway, everyone is looking at Jeff now, because a child ripped another child's heart out at a kid's party. The parents, the crying kids, even Hulk and Keith, although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff, which they didn't think to use until now. Jeff C''S the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him.
Let out fire on him?
They don't open fire on him. They let out fire. Their guns have evolved into flamethrowers.
They let out the fire. It's like
each shot
they release a bunch of bullets out in the wild. They let out the fire.
That they have incendiary rounds. I don't know. They have a good dealer. Okay. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith following up behind. Follow up behind.
It's gradually getting worse if you notice. It's like the person that was writing it just got tired.
The deadline was due. He had to pull an all-nighter for the rest of this.
Oh, God.
Okay, as they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall.
Dude.
Core. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Because they too have
all of a sudden they just found knives.
Their guns turned into flamethrowers and then into knives when they ran out of ammo.
They're magical shape-shifting guns. You know how that works.
They're playing Counter-Strike, apparently. So Troy's Hulkman swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard. Now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Fat Boy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. Notice the tense and the tense shift again. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile.
Bleeding to death? I mean, he stabbed it into his head, but he's totally fine.
I'm being bludgeoned with a towel rack. I'm so happy.
He's just as crazy as Jeff. He's the real killer.
Oh, no, Jeff let out an ominous smile, not Keith. There are two different he's.
Are we sure that that's the... I mean, it's so vague that I don't know which one they're talking about.
Someone missed the day they explained the pronouns. What's so funny? Asked Jeff, I suppose choked his words through his own blood. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it. Oh my god. What's funny, he said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith... Hold on, so Keith... what I'm picturing here is Jeff is standing over Keith maniacally with a towel rack. Keith is like on the floor with his brains spilling out of his head. And yet he gets the monologue?
I think that actually... I'm almost certain Keith is the one letting out the smile because Jeff asks what's so funny. So he's sitting there going, he, and then he throws a lighter at him. Jeff gets lit on fire and goes, ah! And, it's insane.
The fact that we have to go back and check this is a bad sign, though. So anyway, while the alcohol burned him, pretty sure it was the fire, not the alcohol, the bleach bleached his skin. Oh, for God's sake, I forgot about that line. So anyway, bleach bleaches skin, people. It'll turn you into the Joker. Don't drink it.
If you're the writer of this, you should
drink it. Jeff... Yeah, if you're the writer of this,
you probably have
been drinking bleach.
Okay.
Habitually. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but
is he like a lurker now or something?
He's a pterodactyl. Yeah. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. Again, I'm pretty sure it's the flames. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, because that's no fun at a birthday party. Kids running around on fire. You know, didn't even get any
I mean,
cake.
that's just a tragedy in and of itself, that he didn't get any cake.
Yes. But anyway, Jeff started screaming. No, everyone started screaming as they saw Jeff, rather. Now a man on fire, dropped to the ground. Dude. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother, who was apparently completely absent during all of this, and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame, probably by stomping on him. That's when he passed out. Okay, now, ready for it to get really awesome?
Is there any, like, Cliff Note version of this? Because I can already tell we're 32 minutes into this.
Yeah, this is pretty close to the end here. He ran out of ideas. It was 4 a.m. He had to start getting ready for school in 3 hours. I needed to get some sleep in. So, Jeff is passed out now. So, just in case you forgot, when Jeff woke...
When he woke,
yes. Not awoke, woke. When Jeff woke, he done
When Jeff done woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face.
He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder.
How do you feel stitches? I've had stitches. I don't feel them all over my body.
Yeah, all this is Superman. I guess
his extra nerves.
Extra sensory perception.
That must have been extra painful when he was on fire.
Yeah, I guess so. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out and a nurse rushed in. Thank you for being so oddly specific with that. I don't think you can get out of bed just yet, she said as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Giggity. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were.
Hours.
Finally, after
like,
hours,
freaking
his mother. What, he was just like sitting there in bed awake for hours just
What does he do for the hours? Was he... Okay, why is it that he heard his mother all of a sudden? Was he deaf for hours, or...
Sitting there for hours just blinking and making slow, like, low grumbles of pain. And then after 6 hours of his mother apparently staring at him, saying nothing.
It's like a really messed up Skyrim mod.
Honey, are you okay?
Honey.
She was apparently an old British woman, she asked. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you... Hold on, the witnesses told the police about a confession?
How could Randy have confessed? He has his brain spewing out all over the floor.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Randy's dead.
How is he confessing anything?
Okay, yeah, that's quite a big plot
He's
twist.
confessing from the afterlife.
Yeah. But not to the police, though. To all the people at the party. He went back for cake as a ghost. He went back for some cake and said, "Oh, by the way, guys, I'm to blame for all this. Sorry I crashed your party. Sweet skateboard tricks, though, right?"
He's like, "Jeff may have killed me, but I'll be damned if I'm leaving this world without some cake."
Yeah. So anyway, his mother tells him that Leah has been released from prison. Then she runs away. And then his mother and his father, who's not been mentioned at all until now, are in the hospital looking at him, and he's having his bandages removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Why is there a semicolon there?
That should be a comma at least. Just saying.
Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face, for he too now looked like a pug. Leah and Jeff's dad...
Marty felt the face.
Leah and Jeff's dad stare. Everyone needs a dad stare. Awestruck at his face. Oi.
Leah and Jeff's dad stare.
Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face. It's horrible. Suddenly it's William Shatner running.
It's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red.
His face was turned to a pure white color. And his hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back at the mirror.
Face bacon.
Cheerful, said Leah. So not that bad. I'm sorry. I apologize to,
It's so funny because that's the first thing Leah has said this entire thing. Jeffu, is it not that bad?
Is it not that bad?
Not that bad, said Jeff. It's perfect! His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. No period. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching.
Who's saying this?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which voice to use.
Never mind. Just skip it.
Okay, let's just say it's Liu doing it, right? So we'd say like a.
Oh no.
Oh,
go ahead.
Jeffu, are you okay? Okay.
Okay. I've never felt more happy. Ha 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 ha. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, oh, for God's sake. Listen to this aside. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting...
What? Why do we need that? We know what happened. We were there.
This is an aside to cover up my own writing incompetencies.
It's like...
As you may recall, that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind... What? His sanity
That
snapped.
is something in my mind.
Now he was left...
My sanity.
Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know.
I want to say something real quick about that paragraph, though. It's as if the writer expects us to have, well, the whole time we were reading what was going on in the story, we took a large glass bottle and went on our heads.
To be fair, it is quite helpful to have these little reminders because it's just so poorly written.
It's true.
I mean, you just don't care enough about the story to pay any attention.
True.
So anyway, Jeff has turned from Superman into the Joker now. That's what he wants us to know.
Joker.
Doctor, said Jeff's mom, is my son all right? You know, in the head? Because he seems a little bit off. I can't place what it is, but he's just not himself today. Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkiller.
What?
We gave him twice his body weight in cocaine.
Okay, I've been on very large amounts of painkillers. I've never transformed into a psychopathic murderer.
He just sits there stroking his face in the mirror and channeling the Joker.
God.
If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks...
Weeks?
How much morphine did you give him?
They're just trying to cover up the fact they fucked up big time.
He accidentally died on the operating table. We brought him back after several minutes of lack of oxygen to the brain. Good as new, right? Can I get a fist bump on that?
Surgeon simulator doctor over here.
Yeah. So Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face still formed into a crazy smile. Hey, mommy! Ha ha!
See,
his mother took him by the shoulder.
For some reason, I don't think it's supposed to sound like that, Dalton. Ha ha! Oh.
Let's just roll it. Took him by the shoulder, hopefully the one that isn't in a
kidding.
cast, and took him to get his clothes.
Fucking insensitive bitch.
This is what came in, said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. By who?
I guess the people that work there? Just go with it, man.
There's a bunch of elves in the back. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on while watching creepily go away. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life.
What?
What?
Okay. No one's gonna explain that one to us, I guess.
Okay. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke. She done waked it again to sound coming from the bedroom.
It sounded as if someone was crying.
She slowly walked over to see what it was.
Just keep going, keep going.
When she looked into the bedroom, she saw her and his signet. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheek.
Jeff, what are you doing?
Jeff? Asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother. I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever. So wait, to stop pain, he sliced his mouth to...
Well, he's on painkillers, so he doesn't feel it.
Jeff's...
Good. The immense amounts of painkillers have caused him to slash
worth of morphine.
his face open, I guess.
Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. Jeff, your eyes! They're beautiful! His eyes were seemingly never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face, because that's what the kids do these days. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going
that's usually what I would do
insane.
if I started seeing my son.
I'm pretty sure he's very far into the development of insanity at this point. He's not going insane. he passed that... Yeah. What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful? That's the mother's voice. Yes, son. Now it's a father voice, she said. Yes, you are. Well, let me go get Daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun. We need to murder our child.
Honey, get the gun. We need to fucking kill this crazy little bitch.
She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway, holding a knife. Mommy.
Oh, my.
You lied. That's the last thing they hear. Changing tenses again, as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them.
Well, that was very anticlimactic, wasn't it? Just
when
gutting
his brother... No, there's more. When his brother woke up, startled by some noise. Okay, I read that wrong, but still. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber...
that was his teacher again.
He got the strangest... yeah. He got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up, before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into... thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh, Jeff said. Just go to sleep. And that was the biggest turd on the internet.
I think, you know what? I understand what the appeal is, though. I really do.
Do you?
The appeal with... Yeah, with Jeff, I get it. It's, Jeff is sort of, for a lot of the... You know how you see a lot of fangirls and stuff like, oh, Jeff's so hot, right? But he's disgusting looking.
Please tell me that doesn't happen.
No, it really does.
No.
Go to, like, I'm serious. Go to, like, DeviantArt or whatever. It's, like, all over there. But I think that the appeal is that Jeff, for a lot of people, is, like, an anti-hero.
For what?
You know?
Murdering a bunch of children and his family?
Because he murdered a bunch of bullies, I guess.
Stephen King bullies.
Yeah, Stephen King bullies, and killed the Hulk. And I don't know. I personally don't see any appeal at all.
Yeah, that was... Dear Jesus Lord.
Yeah. Well then. I'm glad that our listeners here have actually stuck around this long to hear this turd in a punch bowl of a of a creepypasta. Hopefully we'll do more of these in the future. If you guys like it, leave likes and all that cool crap. Dalton, thanks for coming along and reading all this.
Subjecting myself to this again.
I know, because you already read it through once fully,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sorry you had to experience this.
Well, it was fine. It was worth it.
I just noticed the categories at the bottom. Mental illness, because that's what the author has. Memes. Classics. Oh yes, Jeff the Killer.
How was it a classic?
That was
Full score 7 years ago, Jeff the Killer.
Done walked it up.
He was deed. Okay. Anyway, all right. That's enough of that for one day, I think. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we hope to see you in the next podcast. Bye bye.
Yeah. See you. Just go to sleep.